heading now for Charm. Charm is the sister city of Hua Hin, about half an hour's drive north from Hua Hin town. I want to see if it's broken or is it in just hibernation. I've already showed you Hua Hin. You've seen that that town is going through a very, very bad stage at the moment. Any town that is linked to tourism is obviously at the moment suffering. I just want to see if Charm is broken for good or is it just in hibernation waiting for the people to come back. So sit back and enjoy the ride. It'll take us about 30 minutes. As you can see, the roads are just about empty. There's hardly any traffic on the roads. That's because Bangkok is closed. They can't drive from Bangkok now, or they're not supposed to. I'm sure a lot of people still do, but they're not supposed to be leaving Bangkok. 18 months ago, pre-COVID, these roads would have been jam-packed with trucks and buses. There was always a lot of buses taking people from Bangkok down to the tourist areas of Krabi, Koh Samui, Phuket, and even down as far as the Malaysian border. Even 6 months ago there was more traffic, but there was a spike in April, and since then Bangkok's been put in lockdown, so there's hardly any traffic coming from Bangkok. I suppose in one way it's not a bad thing. There's up to about 20,000 people die on the roads in Thailand every year, so there should be less this year with people not being able to travel and less traffic on the roads. So I suppose there's some good that'll come out of this problem that we're having with COVID. Fatalities is just an estimate. The official figures normally around about 13,000 every year people die on the roads in Thailand, but what that doesn't take into account is the people who die later. The 12,000 is people who've been declared dead at the scene of the accident. It doesn't include anyone who is taken to hospital afterwards and dies later that day or the next day or in the future because of their injuries. It's only the people who are actually killed at the scene of the accident, not people who die afterwards from their injuries. So that's where you get probably 20,000, because a lot of people don't die at the scene, they die when they get to the hospital. It's crazy because the majority of people who drive motorbikes here don't wear crash helmets, which is obviously a big factor in the fatalities. But the strange thing is, as I've said before, I see them flashing past me at 80-90 kilometers an hour on a motorbike, sometimes 3 or 4 people on one motorbike, no helmet. But they're all wearing face masks. They're all scared that they might pick up COVID while driving at 90 kilometers an hour down a highway, but they don't think that anything's going to happen to them if they don't wear a helmet. I don't think that face mask will protect them if they hit up a brick wall doing 90 kilometers an hour. I don't think the face mask is going to do them much good. I was in an accident in Phuket when I first arrived in Thailand in 2017. Someone hit me from behind and I woke up in hospital. Broken leg, broken foot and concussion. Woke up 8 hours later. If I hadn't been wearing a helmet, I wouldn't be making this video today, that's for sure. I'd either be dead or brain dead at the least, because it saved my life, that's for sure. So I can never understand why people drive motorbikes without helmets. Even the Farang who come here on holidays, they see the Thais doing it and they think, oh, okay, I won't have to wear a helmet. Many of them end up in hospital each year Many of them end up dead each year, all for what? For nothing, just because they can't be bothered putting a helmet on their head. I've passed this temple many times on my way to Charm, and I want to go there today. I've never been inside before, so I thought I'll make a little detour on the way to Charm and see what it's like.
Never ceases to amaze me, the temples here. There's so many of them. I never see anyone here either. Not like churches back in the UK or Australia where you have your local congregation. Just everyone comes to these. I'm sure there's some people who live around here where it'll be their local place to go, but they'll also go to many other temples, depending on which temple it is, for luck or for health. All different ones. There's the bells there. We'll have a little ring, shall we? That's where you go and make merit. Pray for your friends or family or a better life in the next life. I have to take your shoes off if I go close to there. I don't know which Buddha that is. Maybe my Saturday birthday Buddha. Sometimes they write them in English if they're in tourist areas, but this one is all written in Thai. But many bells. Significance is you ring them, walk around and ring them all, but there's too many. I'll just give a... Oh, why not? I'll go around. This is supposed to grant your wish. Very beautiful. The artwork on these and the engraving and the detail, just amazing. This will lead into another Buddha, a little corridor there. I don't know what's there. Nothing in there, it's just a corridor to walk through. But just look at all these spires and the detail. How long would it have taken to put all that together? Where was I? That's the King's colours, yellow, and the Thai flag. They're very proud of their country, the Thais. Not like what's happening in my own country of England now, where a lot of people seem to be ashamed of the Union Jack and saying it's colonial and we'll have to get rid of it. You won't find that in Thailand. You can't say anything bad about the king in Thailand. It's against the law. So if you desecrate a flag, that would be seen equally as bad. But if you say something bad about the king, you can go to prison for many years. I suppose that's where, lucky in the UK, you might not like the Queen, and it's your right to say it, as long as you say it in a reasonable way. The Thai people are very patriotic. They love their King number 9, the last king. The Thai monarchy is the richest monarchy in the whole world. Richer than the Queen of England, richer than King of Spain, which are all those countries that have monarchs. So it's worth it. Look, it's not just the temple. This one here is also beautiful. Very Chinesey looking, this one. Might as well see it all while we're here. And then we'll continue our journey to Charm. I haven't been there for maybe a year. Probably 18 months, probably before COVID actually. So it'll be interesting to see what changes have been made with business and the beaches if they're open. If you can see, very dark in there, but take my shoes off and we'll go in and have a look. Yeah, the last time I was there, it was a long time ago. I've driven through Charm on many occasions because it's on the main road back from Bangkok. So if I've been to Bangkok or Pattaya, I would drive through that way, but I never stopped. I just headed home. So we'll go and have a look and see if it's changed, see if it's doing any better than its sister town, Hua Hin.
Just coming up to Charm now. Charm was originally established in 1897 as a fishing village. It sits about 170 kilometres south of Bangkok and about 20 kilometres north of Hua Hin. It's a sleepy beach town. It's more sedate than its glitzy sister town, Hua Hin. A lot more laid back. It'll be interesting to see how the town's changed in the last 18 months. So we'll take a right hand turn here. This is the soi that leads down to the beach, Charm Beach. It's not that far, probably only about a kilometre down the road as we turn. I'm quite excited to see what Charm's like. Is it going to be busier than Hua Hin? Or is it going to be less busy? Let's find out in a minute. Well, it looks quite quiet. Very much like Hua Hin actually. The streets look similar, as if they're got about the same population, same amount of people walking around, same amount of cars, nothing major, not like it was a long time ago. There's a few shops open. There's a drink place there, and that restaurant's closed up. Looks about the same. There's a few shops open, a few shops closed, a few shops boarded up, a few for sale signs. Very much like Hua Hin. And I should have, well, I did know, I guessed that it was going to be like this, because this is the younger sister, I suppose. Not many people came here before compared to Hua Hin, so obviously it will show more here now than what it would have been a long time ago before COVID. So I think this town is probably suffering even more than Hua Hin, because Hua Hin has a larger local population as well, so obviously they have to shop, they have to eat, so they're going to be busier in Hua Hin than here, I suppose. Which is a great shame, because this town has a lot of character. Hua Hin is like a bigger metropolis, but this place has a lot of character going for it. So this is the main beach road that stretches all the way along the beach of Charm. You can see all the umbrellas are out there, the chairs, they're ready tourists to come to, but they don't look very busy at all. I can't see any customers at all in any of these as I'm driving down. It's got a lot worse as well, because you would get people coming from Bangkok for midweek breaks or weekend breaks. People who had days off would hop in the car and drive down and either stay the night or just come for the day, go and have lunch there on the beach. But now they're not coming anymore because Bangkok's in lockdown. It looks very, very quiet. There's a few cars around, but that could be not customers so much, it could be staff. When I was here last, there were just tons of motorbikes, loads of motorbikes just parked there, and lots of cars, even buses, lots of buses bringing people down from Bangkok. But as you can see, it's there's no one. It's just about deserted. The odd person, but very depressing. Now I'll continue on down the Soi, see if there's anything else of interest, but it's all looking pretty much the same. It looks very much like Hua Hin and Kaltakiab. Samui, I was only there a few weeks ago, but their beaches, like my beach and Shaweng Beach, were pretty much the same. Hardly anyone on the beaches. People are staying home as well. It's not just people not coming. The locals aren't coming out either. They're just staying at home. Everyone's frightened of this new wave that's hit Thailand of COVID. So I'll turn around and you can have a look at the shopping side of the street and the hotels and restaurants. As you can see there's the odd one that's open, but the majority are closed. I think even the hotels, they look abandoned, waiting for customers to return again. Everything will be put in mothballs, waiting for customers, but they'll still keep maintenance up, and they'll be maybe getting it ready for when the people come, maybe modernising the rooms. Or I saw a place that caught my eye when I was driving down, so I'm going to go there and see if I can get some dinner and maybe a Chang beer. That would go down well. Sit in the sun there, sipping on a cold beer and having Thai food. I don't think they'll have any Farang food there, so it'll be Thai food for dinner tonight. Let's see what they have on offer. I'll park the bike up and see what they've got.
This lady's going to make me a papaya salad. And I had to get my beer from 7-Eleven, but they've sent for it. They deliver apparently, so they don't sell beer on the beach, but as long as I buy from 7-Eleven, it's quite legal to do. So there she is, she's making me a nice... Can I film? Me film?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I do for YouTube. 2. Oh, sorry. Just 2, yeah. Yeah, she'd make me papaya salad, which is green papaya and chili and vegetables all chopped up. It's the probably the national dish of Thailand. Very quiet, yeah, no business, no people.
No.
Kaput. These poor people, they're doing it tough. But look, you see what I say? They still smile, they still clean everything, they're still hoping for the best. But if you look down here, there's only me here. I got the whole beach to myself here, look. It's like Robinson Crusoe. I don't need rescuing. Quite happy to stay here. And maybe 18 months ago this would have been full. It wouldn't have been full, no, it would have been very busy. Not full because it would have been out of season, it's now the wet season, but prices drop in the wet season and a lot of people from Farang people come here because it's cheaper, hotels are cheaper, and look, this is the wet season. It's not that bad, is it? So I'll go and see how my salad's coming and where my beer is. I'll tell you how much that costs in a minute. Oh, that smells good. I can smell pine nuts. They put pine nuts in it and then mash it all up. Oh, what's that?
Gung hang, gung.
Gung? Yeah, gung, yep. That's prawn, little shrimp. This is what I like about being here though, because the people are so friendly. Look at it. No one here, but they still have a smile for you, and they still like to chat with you, even though there's a big language difference. These ladies don't speak much English, but you get by with sign language. Sawadee krab! What's your name? Name?
Yeah.
What name?
Tim.
Name?
Tim.
Sim?
Ah.
Oh, okay, Sim.
Okay.
This Sim, she owned the place, I suppose. And what's your name?
Tô.
Tu. Okay, I'm Jed.
Okay.
Okay. See, all friendly. It's as if we've known each other all our lives.
Okay.
I didn't ask, but they brought me a large chang. That's normally 55 baht in 7-Eleven, about $2 for a large beer. And I sit here, ladies make me a papaya salad. I hope it's not too spicy. I asked for my pet, which means no spicy, but you don't always listen. I said half a chili, hopefully she does that. So that's my lunch. Back out the way. That's my lunch. Papaya salad. What we got in there? We got some nice pine nuts, some shrimp. Oh, gab and gab. That's for my bits and pieces from the shrimp. We got some cabbage, green beans. We got lime here to squeeze over the top. Bit of tomato, pine nuts. Let's have a look. Let's see how it goes down. I hope it's not too spicy. No, it's very good. Nuts are fresh. I've had papaya salad before when the nuts have been soft, nice and crispy and just been roasted by the taste of them. And this here, this is the green. This is papaya, but it's green. It's not ripe. You buy them unripened, and you slice them up thin and mix together with a vinegary type dressing. But it's really nice. Usually I eat it sparingly, you know. It's something it's an acquired taste. Every Thai person I know likes it. They'll have it for breakfast, lunch and dinner. But for me, maybe now and again it's nice. I like to mix my food. I don't, maybe because I'm a chef, but I don't like to eat Thai every day, or English food every day, or burgers every day, US food. I like to eat Thai sometimes. Other times I might go to a German restaurant. Then I'll maybe cook at home for me, for English food, maybe roast beef and Yorkshire puds. But a lot of people eat Thai food all the time because it's cheap. But it's not good for me. I like it in small doses. But I like Vietnamese food, I like Malaysian food, I like all sorts of foods, but I like to mix them up. Not just eat the same food every day, and then get bored with it, I suppose. But Thai people are different. They'll eat the same thing every day. They get up in the morning, they don't have cereal for breakfast. They have papaya salad, or they have spicy noodles, not bacon and eggs or anything like that. And then they'll have the same thing for lunch. And they never get bored. They'll sit there and eat it and really, and see how beautiful it was. Yeah. So, aloma, they say, which is very nice. Okay, that was dinner, and it was once again very nice and very cheap, I hope. I'll go and get the bill now, see how much it came to, and I'll let you know in a sec. But I'm not expecting to having to remortgage my house. I think it should be within my budget. A little walk, talk to these nice ladies and see how much it was. Cab. Yeah, I pay for this, thank you.
70 อันนั้น70 50
One beer, one thing.
เบียร์70ไอ้นั่น50ไอ้นี่อีก30เป็นเท่าไหร่อะไรนะ70 50 30 150 100เท่าไหร่150ใช่ที่ไหนแล้วก่อนนับมือเดี๋ยวไอ้เทค
Yeah, check, get calculator.
โอเคได้เขาหนูเอา50 ถูกต้อง150ใช่เหรอ140
Oh, there's a lot of
อันนี้7ฮะ
high commerce here.
70กับ30
One salad, one beer.
แล้วก็ส้มตำ50เป็น150 150 บาท
150 baht. Okay, that was easy.
ไอ้พวกนี้มันไปด้วยเด้อยู่ขี่รถมาจากไหนคะ
Huh?
สุราษฎร์อยู่โฮม
Khao Takiab. Yeah. No, it's okay for you.
โอเค
Beautiful, yeah, cab. Very nice
you.
salad, thank you. Very nice.
You live เขาตะกี้
I live Khao Takiab. Sorry.
มาดามไทย
No, madam, only me. Very sad.
alone
Alone.
Where you come from
I come from England.
people Norway no come back you from
England. People Norway can't. No, you can't come in Thailand. Very hard to come here now.
COVID
Yeah, COVID.
people go นะ
Yeah, people go. They can't come back. I live here for 4 years. So. Yeah.
oh you but long time Thailand
I live 4 years in Thailand. Yeah.
เพราะว่าสายมันไอ้นี่
So I hope things get better soon. Maybe soon.
no people
I know. It's very bad for you. But keep smiling. You're always smiling. That's good. Thai people are always happy.
เพราะว่าพวกเรายิ้มดี
Okay, I see you next time. Next time I come.
you
So I've been driving around Cham and Hua Hin today, Khao Takiab, trying to find out if these towns are broken or are they just in hibernation. Are they ready to come out of hibernation when COVID goes? Look, I've never underestimated the Thai people. You know, they're very, very strong people, especially the women. They're so, the men maybe not so much. From what I've found, there are a lot of complainers, some of them, but the women are very strong. They're the main ones in the family. They're the ones who control the family, and a lot of the time they're the ones who work to support the family as well. So let's talk about the Thai women rather than Thai population on the whole. The country's had to overcome 18 military coups in their lifetime, 2 of them in the last 15 years. They've also had to come back from a tsunami that hit the country many years ago that killed, I think, 8,000 people died in Thailand, and many hundreds of thousands of homes were destroyed, and they had to rebuild their lives again and try and get over the people that died. and try and get back to normal. And they've done that. They keep doing it. You know, they've done it many times, and they'll do it again. I don't think these towns are broken. I think these towns are in hibernation. They're waiting for COVID to go and the government to ease up on their restrictions, and airlines to open up and countries to open up again. I think a lot of them won't open again. I think a lot of them will stay closed for a long time because they have no money to come back. They've spent the money they've had by walking away from these businesses. They've spent the money they have on living from week to week. They don't have the money anymore to come and say, oh, okay, I'll go back to my bar or I'll go back to my restaurant and I'll open up. But someone else will eventually. Once tourists come and confidence returns, people can see, you know, you can make money here. And you know, if you've got money, now is the time to do it. You know, if you think COVID will be gone in the next 6 to 8 months and life is going to get back to some normality, then now is the time. You come here now, or you go anywhere. I mean, probably cheap anywhere for shops for rent because of COVID. You know, many places are open and for rent or for sale. So it's a buyer's market. It's not a seller's market. And you can get a bargain here. You can walk into an already set up bar where the people have just walked out, just left everything because they couldn't afford the rent. And you can go to the owner of that not the bar so much, but the owner of the building where the bar's situated and say, oh, I'll rent that from you, and he'll offer you a ridiculous rent. But you know that, you know, he's talking rubbish because it's COVID and there's no money. You open up, you're not going to get any customers. You're gambling that in 6 months' time or a year's time that the customers will return. So it's like a little gamble, I suppose. It's like putting an each-way bet on a horse. Maybe it'll win, maybe it won't. So you don't put anything in that you can't afford to lose. But if you've got the money and you've always wanted to open up a bar or a restaurant, everywhere in Thailand now is for sale. And if you've got, I suppose, if you've got the guts and you can ride it out, then you might make some money. But I'll tell you a little story about, I went to Samui maybe 6 months ago, just before Christmas. So no, maybe 8 months ago now, time flies. So 8 months ago I went to Samui, and I stayed in a lovely, I won't say the name, I don't want to embarrass the man. I stayed in a beautiful place on the beach with bungalows, and I got talking to the French owner, and he was distraught. He'd bought this business, he'd come here on holidays many years, and he loved Koh Samui, and he went back, sold everything he had, his house, his business, and he brought all his money over here and he invested it into a lovely hotel on the beach. This was his dream. He was going to just wake up every morning and go out there and see the beautiful sunrise and enjoy his life working, but not even working. He would have been just a figurehead there. He would, you know, wages are cheap here, so he would have people running the restaurants and the bars for him, and he could have just enjoyed his life and hopefully watched the money come in. But he bought that in January of 2020, which was just before COVID was known that it was going to, well, it wasn't even known then that it was going to take over the world. It was a small thing, and everyone thought, oh, okay, it's like Asian flu or bird flu, it'll go away. But it didn't, and it's devastated most countries, and it devastated his business. He now has a business he can't sell. He now has a business that he can't afford to operate because it's empty. He can't afford staff and pay staff for when he has no income. Everything he worked hard for all his life, he's lost at the moment. He was telling me, this is 8 months ago, he was telling me that he couldn't survive much longer, and he was hoping for COVID to go, but COVID's got worse. In April it got a lot worse, and it's not coming back anytime soon for the poor man. He's probably going to walk away and leave everything, I would think, unless he's managed to borrow money or he has family with money who are going to help him. But that's just a little warning. Yes, things are cheap here, but COVID is the unknown. There's no way of knowing what it's going to do next. and if it's going to raise its ugly head, or are we just going to get used to it? Is it going to be something in the future that's just like the flu, or something like some sort of disease that came to the country 100 years ago that will just die away naturally? Who knows? But what I'm saying is that Thailand has a lot of bargains, not just for businesses but for condos and houses. So if you're thinking of it, take a look. But this is, don't take my word, don't you come to me and say, oh, you told me this, you told me that. No, I'm not telling you anything. I'm saying there's bargains here, but there's risks also. You know, I think that I started my YouTube channel at a bad time. I lived here 4 years. I wish I'd started this channel 4 years ago, because there was no restrictions on what you could do or where you could go. But unfortunately, I've started my YouTube channel slap bang in the middle of a pandemic, where the reported infections are now reaching 13,000 every day. So every day more and more places are closing down. Every day more and more people are staying home to try to avoid it. So the streets are deserted, and there's very little open, there's very little to do. So that goes hand in hand with, if there's very little to do, there's very little to film. And you start to run out of ideas. I mean, it's a beautiful country, but how many temples can I show you? How many beaches can I show you? So, I mean, my original plan was to do a big tour of Thailand, taking the 10 best places in the country for people to retire to, which were, from memory, Hua Hin, Bangkok, Pattaya, Khon Kaen, Udon Thani, Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, and then going back down the other way. Then you go down south, down to Samui, Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, Krabi, Phuket and Koh Lak, all them sort of places. That was my intentions, to go there for maybe spend a year driving around, spending a month in each place, and reporting on, you know, showing you the best prices for condos, showing you around condos, showing you, you know, shopping, how much it is to shop in those regions, because every region is cheaper or more expensive. Like Bangkok is obviously more expensive than Udon Thani. So that was the plan. But as normal, you know, plans don't always work out. COVID is not going to go away. I thought it was. I thought it was going to be going away fairly quickly, because they handled it so well last time, but it's getting away from them now. It's getting worse every day. So the trip is definitely on. That's going to always be there, but I can't do it now. Everywhere's closed. You know, I can't go back to Samui because I need vaccination. It's catch-22. I can't get a vaccination because there's no vaccine in the country. But I can't travel without the vaccination. So I'm more or less stuck here for a little while, but hey, you know, where I could think of a lot worse places to be stuck. So that's the plan. Don't give up. I'm still going to be going out every day. There's still plenty of things to see, plenty of things to do, and I can give you a general rundown on what it's like to live in Thailand in a town called Hua Hin. So stay with me. Please subscribe. You know, what's happening here is the same as in every country. It's nothing different. The only difference is that now Thailand is peaking, whereas in places in Europe and the USA they peaked, you know, maybe a year ago and have been dropping. Thailand, they had no problems for the first year. It's in the last 6 months that, not even that, probably in the last 4 months, that things have gone sour and pear-shaped. So stay with me, subscribe, and I'll show you around everywhere that I can in Prachuapkhirikan, which is the province of Hua Hin, that Hua Hin is situated. It is the wet season, so there'll be rainy days where I can't get very far, but there'll also be lots of sunny days and days in between where the weather will be okay, and I'll take you everywhere I possibly can. If there's anywhere you want to see in the Hua Hin area, put in the comments box and I'll do my best to go and video it for you. So I'll see you in the next video. Take care and subscribe. It costs you nothing. Cheers now, have a good one.